the support team is going to be pulling their hair out. But so that's why it's very important that during the evaluation to really do, really put it through the ringer. As Jay and Brian say, you really get under the hood and see what's going on. We really encourage that, and we provide, at least at Havok, we provide full support during the evaluation, so that then people can really, we try to get on the phone, try to say, what are you going to do, how are you going to use it, and actually try to do that, try to get some good use cases and see if it's really going to fit your needs. And if not, then can we do something, and if we can't, then how are we going to work on it? But definitely setting those expectations up front is key.
Yeah, it's important. Use support, make sure that you're asking questions, find out, is it responsive? If you send up question X, are you going to answer X to your satisfaction in a timely manner? What kind of community is out there? We use all of our licensees communicate in this community, and which really helps rise the tide for all licensees, and we found it very beneficial. Is that community, are you get deriving benefit from that community? Is there a strength or a wealth of folks out there who know the tool? If you're in the process of building out a team, are there team members out there or people, human resources that you can bring on who are familiar with the tool? It's all things that you should be looking at in the process of evaluating a proper solution.
Cool. Any other questions from the floor? Okay. Yep.
I presume several of you all had maybe where somebody's decided to use it and they abandoned it at some point. So, saying, what can you do on the brief or something like that?
So we've had a couple of cases where in the last generation where they went in with unrealistic expectations and they weren't communicating to us what those expectations were, and they only then sent up flares at the last minute, which we were unable to get in and help reconcile. In most cases, we'll run our evaluations out. I say they're 90 days. We'll extend those over the course of time. 90 days is sort of a checkpoint that gives me or Mark Ray, my licensing partner, the opportunity to chat with people. But it's not uncommon for us to let an evaluation run for 6 months or more. Because we want people to be satisfied, we want to prevent that from happening. And that gives us the opportunity to be checked up every 90 days. We have had, and under that lines, typically what happens, because we'll basically let those evaluations run out, most of the time the reasons companies will stop using Unreal Engine is because they've literally gone out of business or canceled the project. Most of the time it ends up with they'll take a license because they're actually building their game to the point through the evaluation process, which we're happy to do.
For me, it's a little different. Script changes, because let's say you've done the shoot and you've got the animation done, and somebody comes in last minute and wants to change the script, then we have to throw that away. So that's the biggest thing for me, which is really different than these two guys. I'd say the other one is, the only other one I've seen is sometimes from an integration standpoint, when we go to integrate the facial in, they basically, poor planning. Let me just put it that way. So when they're planning the project and then the facial is kind of the last thing you do, then you get poor planning. So I've seen a couple situations where, and if I knew in advance, and I'm thinking of one particular customer, if they would have told me, I would have helped give them some resources to get it integrated in the game, which goes back to his point about support. You've got a third party there, make sure you use them. But for the most part, the real reason for me is script changes.
Yeah, I guess kind of the three main reasons are maybe unrealistic technical aspirations. So that's something we actually see pretty rarely. Most people have a pretty good idea of the capabilities of our tech before they get into the evaluation. The evaluation is more about the kind of the fine details and the small print. But but most people have a pretty good idea of what's possible and what's not. I guess a good example would be we had a customer once that wanted to have a sort of a treasure trove, so a room that was just full of gold coins, and they were thinking of having thousands of coins piled up, and when you open up the door, they all spill out, and each one of these would be an individual rigid body. This was a few years ago, so it was a bit unrealistic with the technology and the platforms at the time. Although they still ended up having physics, they just didn't do that particular thing. But I guess that's a case where you have just unrealistic technology goals that we can't satisfy. And then another reason that an evaluation might fail is on our part if we're not staying on top of the evaluation. I guess one of the most dangerous things is when we give somebody access to our tech and they start evaluating and 30 days goes by and we don't hear a peep from them. Usually that means that we encourage people to submit questions, to ask questions, and we try to get on the phone with them. But if we fail to do that, then what tends to happen is people will try to do something, they can't do it, or it doesn't meet their performance needs or whatever, and then they just decide it's not possible. And if they come to us, or if we were a bit more proactive and came to them, we would have found out that actually there is a way to do that, they just hadn't been setting it up properly. So that is also pretty rare because we try to stay on top of things. And then probably the biggest reason for losing an evaluation is, and also the most frustrating for someone in my position, is when the tech team reaches a tech yes, and they say, okay, it does everything that we want, it's great, but the higher-ups, the producer or whatever has either decided that they don't want to invest in any new technology at this point, or that we're just too late in the game, or we're too far along in our production, and at least for this title, we can't go back and we can't either take out our current physics engine or replace it with yours, or we can't add any new technology. So that's actually probably the biggest reason that we lose evaluations. It's frustrating when you convince someone that their tech team really wants to use your tech, but just for other reasons they can't integrate it at that time.
Anybody else? More questions? Yep, good question.
It's like any good question on my ignorance. But, is there much of a model for integrating these tools into education scenarios? Is it realistic to, I've had success with Unreal Better with students. Is it crazy to think we might get students to understand Unreal Engine in 6 months?
Well, it's an excellent question. No, it's not Unreal Engine is a beast.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. A 6-month, thinking somebody's going to start at no knowledge and be marketplace ready in 6 months is probably unrealistic. But going through somebody who's knowledgeable in game development, who has an understanding of how things work, can go from some knowledge to being proficient in Unreal Engine in 6 months. Not saying that they're ready to go into the marketplace and get a high-paying job. But I think it's critical that we integrate technology, game development technologies into the educational marketplace. And we start putting students on the street or turning students out of these over the course of, say, a couple of years, because after a couple of years, students who are really motivated and have a passion for the art form are going to start turning out portfolio pieces that are going to amaze people and potentially even have commercial success with them. So we've actually taken a step. It's like you throw up a softball swing, so I got it. We just put out a product called UDK, Unreal Developers Toolkit, which are Unreal Development Kit. That's basically full, complete Unreal Engine 3, all the latest and greatest stuff that's for free for use in the educational marketplace. It's it comes with hundreds of hours of tutorial curriculum that you guys, educational guys, can just grab and use. All sorts of support access and a huge community. It's free for use in the educational marketplace, and we encourage students who develop something they think should be commercial to take one of our super low-cost commercial licenses and take it and see what they can do on Steam. So, yeah, thanks for the It's a great segue. I'll give you the value of 10, yeah.